No, they're all like
There's a big long
four
couch over
houses,
here.
but like
Anybody
they
else
left him
sit
for the
on
trip. And he's with his band and some of the choir. And
This is great. Yeah, it's big. This is great. I love it. Big smart kids.
Call this meeting of the Three Rivers Local School District Board of Education to order August 12th, 2025 at 6 p.m. The Trek Media Center. If we could all stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
Here.
Mr. Mahoney?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mrs. Hughes? Here. Dr. Stafford?
All right, if I could get a motion to approve and dispense with the reading of the minutes from the July 22nd, 2025 special meeting and work session.
Second.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Hughes? Yes. Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
All right, that takes us to everybody's week. Presentations, student recognition. I will let you take over, Mr. Science.
Well, tonight we have the privilege of recognizing some truly exceptional students. Each of these young scholars have achieved something remarkable, earning a perfect score on the Ohio State test. This accomplishment reflects not only their intelligence, but also their hard work, perseverance, and commitment to excellence. At Three Rivers, we believe that academic success deserves to be celebrated, and tonight we honor these students as shining examples of what dedication and determination can achieve. They have set the bar high for themselves and for their peers, and we are proud to recognize them in front of their families, teachers, and community. So please join me in congratulating these outstanding students as I read their names. I'm going to try to get all the names right. I don't like mispronouncing names. But, so I think what we're going to do, Lisa, if I'm correct, I'm going to read the names off. Anyone that's here, because we know probably not every student was able to make it, we're going to meet where for group picture?
After they're all red, we'll just line you guys up. How about right in front of those empty chairs over there, and I'll come over here and make sure everybody gets a picture with the superintendent.
So as I read your name, students, just go ahead, pop up and head over here where Miss Rivet is, and we will. Addison Smallwood, Ainsley Argo, Annalise Frankhauser, Audrey Ducey, Beckham Bessa, Christopher Rolla, Connor Hudson, Corinne Hayhow, Dylan Cox, Elliot Wall, Gabrielle Fenton, Harpo Argo, Hazel Seibert, Jason McCullum, John Martini, Josephine Enderly, Kate Murphy, Matthew Swigert, Michael Gutzwiller, Nicole Gardner, Robert Blankenship, Skyler Hoffman, Timothy Fraser, Vance Wisnowski, that's it right? Oh, Vance Wisnowski. Wesley Johnson, Thea Goodell, Lily Krimmer, and Laura McCormick.
I shared some stats with Mrs. Hughes, and tell them the stats in prior years.
Yes, so this year we had 31 students, and this is double our students that have received perfect scores. So in 2023, we had 15 students recognized. And in 2024, we had 15 students as well. And this year, we have 31. So congratulations.
Never would I have been able to accomplish what you did, so I'm just living vicariously through you, and I get to be in the picture. So I'm going to act like I scored well.
I do a lot of kids' pictures, and this group, I said one time, get in 2 rows, and they were like, we got this. I'm like, well, because you're smart.
Yeah,
All right, 1, 2, 3, guys. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations on all.
Any parents want to go get pictures? Give them an opportunity to get some pictures?
Sorry. We should went back there.
Thanks, guys. And somebody that wanted to see this, that didn't, this will be on our YouTube page, so you can share it with anybody.
We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Get a good night's sleep.
Be open. Yes, you guys get them.
Good point. Still good luck.
Are you ready to be summer? Marcus didn't make it down there, so I don't really.
Jeremy, I should let you go first. We didn't want to hear about the
Maybe her friend will come back. Tell her congratulations.
All right, well, that'll take us to our next presentation, which I said I should have first and listen about what the SGO is all about, but Jeremy, are you going to present?
Probably so.
All right, so we got a big check, and we're going to present that, so I will.
I've heard you want to.
For the sake of folks watching or folks that will watch, the Three Rivers Scholarship Granting Organization is an organization we formed last year to allow us to collect credits in it is a tax credit, so it's a contribution to the SGO. That will be a tax credit on your state tax return that the SGO can in turn write a check to the school district to cover all day kindergarten tuition expenses. So we've talked about this in previous meetings, and it's definitely something that we're excited about, and the SGO raised a little over 20,000 this year, which is pretty good because we didn't really get started until October or November of last year. And this year we hope to double that or triple that number, but tonight we get a check from the SGO to cover our, do we have 120 and maybe counting a few more all-day kindergarten students. So, Jeremy, just stand up, hold the big check. The check, by the way, is for $18,600.
On behalf of the Three Rivers SGO, we'd like to present a check to Three Rivers School District for $18,600 to cover the tuition for all-day kindergarten. So, who wants this big thing? Name, contract, yes, the Treasury Bank. You should take this into the bank and see what they do.
Do you need to sign the back of it first?
Yeah.
Stand there, Jeremy.
All right.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Put it in the car.
Put it in the car.
When I do say the,
Thank you, Jeremy.
So it's not just for show, there's the actual. The deposit.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys, appreciate
And
it.
I will say it does work, when you, fill that out, it's $750 for an individual, $1,500 for a couple.
Yes,
If you owe $1,500 in state taxes, you write a check to the organization, you deduct it on your taxes, and you get all that money right back. It's a great deal for the school district. It's basically taking money from Columbus and bringing it back to our school district.
Yes.
I mean, effectively, that's what
it
it is.
actually gives you a voice as somebody in our district and to tell Columbus that you'd like your tax dollars to support your local schools.
Yeah.
So you get to actually have a voice and a say in how your money is actually spent. So it's a great opportunity. Hopefully more people will take advantage of it this tax season, and we can present a bigger check to the school district next year as well. So it's a great opportunity.
And again, this is for anybody in Ohio.
Anybody lives in
And you
Ohio?
can designate what school.
Yes.
Or SGO, goes to what
SGO. You actually don't even live in the state of Ohio. As long as you file a state tax return in Ohio, you have the ability to make a contribution and get the tax credit on your state tax return.
Should clarify, it's up to $750.
It's up to $750 and up to $1,500.
You don't necessarily have to do that.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, if you think you're only gonna owe $500 in state tax, then just donate $500 and it works the same way.
Okay, absolutely.
So it's a great deal, and I think we say we're the second public school system in the
Yes,
state of Ohio.
in the entire state of Ohio.
We have our SGO established, so we're on the cutting edge of this. And, so it's a great opportunity for us to get a little bit of tax dollars that otherwise, who knows what they get to.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Chairman, for that. That takes us to our next presentation, which again, more good news. I mean, we're just knocking it out of the park tonight. The ASBO Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting.
Well, tonight I'm proud to recognize our finance department, Treasurer Taylor Riesenberg, Treasurer Assistant 1 Dan Carley, and Treasurer Assistant 2 Lori Nelson for an outstanding achievement that reflects the very best of what we stand for as a district: transparency, accountability, and excellence. Three Rivers Local School District has been awarded the prestigious Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting by the Association of School Business Officials International. This honor is the gold standard in our field, recognizing districts that demonstrate the highest level of integrity and clarity in their financial reporting. Thanks to Terry's leadership and our entire team's attention to detail and commitment to serving our community, our annual comprehensive financial report not only met but exceeded rigorous standards set by ASBO International. So on behalf of our district, I want to congratulate Terry, Dan, and Lori on this well-deserved recognition and thank them for all their dedication to ensuring our financial practices are second to none.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
This one is, we had every year. This is in addition to the state of Ohio.
Okay,
The State of Ohio Auditors Award is 3 years in a row.
Yes,
But this is
So
what
this
you
is
guys
a
are
capital.
consistently.
yes.
You put all these plaques, right?
Wow, well, thanks.
Yeah,
Perfect. Thank you so much for everything you do.
yes, good problems.
Yes.
All right, so that will now take us to our committee reports, and we'll begin with academic and curriculum, so Mr. McDonald, and well, Dr. Stafford, Mr. McDonald.
Yeah, we are going to have our first meeting of the school year, August 29th, at 11:30. We will meet in the communication room in CT Young, and I look forward to getting the year started off. I know Megan always has a wonderful agenda for us, so I'm very excited to get back from our summer hiatus. That's all I got.
All right. Next is the Building and Finance Committee. That's with myself and Mrs. Miller. We were off most of the summer, but we did meet last Thursday, 6th, August 6th. A smaller group than normal, summer to be expected. We discussed a little bit about the building, the athletic facility building that we've been talking about for a while, and some of the plans there. I'd say high level, as a board, you all know at our last meeting, we discussed internally. We also met, not our last meeting, but the meeting prior to that, we met with the boosters and discussed just where things are in terms of fundraising, what timelines might look like, and we also discussed perhaps implementing a master plan just to help us, not just with what we need for terms of wrestling and weightlifting and other athletic training, but what we need in terms of just other facilities, spaces in general. And I know we just mentioned Friday, you said Friday we have a walkthrough with a firm that will help us identify potential candidates to help us with that master planning. So I'm sure we'll have more to follow on that here in subsequent meetings. In terms of finance, I won't steal Terry's thunder, but you guys have the report that will be on the, well, actually all this will be available on the website. But you can see we're 1 month in, and I'll say it's, it's not a consistent month-to-month budget. You guys all know that. It just depends on, what time of year it is. So our revenues are way up, yay, 16, almost 17%, but our expenses are up over month, compared to last year, just because we had some more bills come in with certain capital expenses as we get ready to start the school year. I know we mentioned servers, so IT stuff, that's always salty. So I don't care where you're at. So that is some of the expense, but really our finances, we're just reviewing that. We did do a quick review of the 5-year forecast. For what it's worth, because it's changed since we submitted it in May, but we talked with the finance committee about what we had submitted versus where things stand now with the new governor, with the budget that was released here at the end of June, and the impact that has on us. I think it's fair to say it's not, by no means a windfall for our district, but it was a positive. We didn't lose any critical funding, at least not yet. So with the budget factored in, our 5-year forecast will reflect a little better numbers than what we had shown submitted in May. And Terry, when did you say the next forecast is due?
They've
Switching
changed the
dates.
schedule, so they, for this year, since it was late notice because it was wrapped up in the budget bill, they have moved it up 1 month. So traditionally, we would present it in November. This year, November and May. This year, it's been moved up to October and April. Going forward, however, starting next year, it'll be August and February. So, and they did move it to a 3-year. However, the software is not changing. They're essentially going to have a version that is for the state filing purpose that will reflect 3 years. But I will still be presenting a 5-year forecast.
So, yeah, lots lots of stuff, new year starting. Any questions on that?
So basically, the new requirement is going to be a 3-year budget rather than a 5-year forecast?
Correct.
Okay.
And
I think
the
that's more
time, the
realistic.
filing,
because Year 4 and 5 were always just kind of
Right.
silly because they were just so speculative at that point.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not fair to ask you to project something when the state legislature doesn't even tell you what they're going to contribute in those out years. It becomes just sort of silly.
But most people ever knows too, like right now, we know what the 2 years,
Yeah.
but I mean, truth is, you never.
Even the 3rd year speculative.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then depending on what year you're in,
I
it
don't
could
know
be
what-
the second.
Right.
There's no other questions on building and finance. We'll go to community liaison with Mrs. Hughes.
Well,
Is there anything going on?
Yeah, what's not going on?
what is it?
Just curious.
Yeah, I mean, summer's over, so
Right.
welcome back, folks.
Exactly.
Which means we've had a wrap-up of summer programs. So, we had a meeting for the Acclaim Foundation, and we are going to have a band premiere here with 15 bands coming. And we already have several committed bands already, like Milford, Bellbrook, Oak Hills. But the sign up is going out next week. And then I know they have purchased trailers for their equipment and stuff. Their new trailer arrived, and the other trailer was repaired, so the band is in great shape for their band travel. Because that was an issue on one of their trips. Their bus or their thing broke down, their trailer. The band room has a new floor. The carpet was removed, so that's fantastic. I don't know if anybody was following Drum Corps International this summer and following Jack Hawkins, our esteemed Drum Corps. Their team, he's with the Boston Crusaders, which is, well-renowned. They won the gold medal. They won in Indianapolis, so he will come back with hardware. The band will be competing for nationals on Thursday, November 13th and 14th, so they will be on a weekend trip there. For homecoming, we will have an alumni band situation, so if anybody wants to dust off their instruments,
Just gonna have
they
to-
are invited.
I have a flute in my closet.
I mean, dust it off and start practicing. For the choir, an alumni choir performance will be in December with the high school choir. And then they have other dates already scheduled for their concerts as well, but they plan to perform at the Christ Church, I believe it's Christ Church Cathedral, with their pipe organ, which is amazing. It's so wonderful. And then they are going to combine with the Mayfest Choir here on campus, which is another blessing because the Mayfest is amazing. And then I think we spoke about this before, the craft show has been canceled, but we are developing possibly an art camp to work in conjunction with the drama camp, possibly over the summer in lieu of the, it was kind of a dying craft show because it was at the same time as other, yeah, so we have that option, and they're working out the logistics on that. They are talking about raising fees for camps just to help support the programs, and because we've seen such an increase in numbers, it also is supplies and just the overhead to hold those camps. think that's all I have for claim. Oh, we do have Fine Arts Day already scheduled in the books for March 14th, so if you want to get that on your calendar. I also want to thank and congratulate the Ready Fest committee. Amazing, successful event.
It was wet. It was on, but by golly, we pulled it off.
But well attended, folks, well attended. There were 231 registered and 50 more came. 42 staff volunteers, the Kiwanis donated, Crossroads donated haircuts, Whitewater also
They had sauce and other food items.
donated
Just
the
reading my handwriting, it's really boring.
Is it
Kona
Kona Ice?
Ice.
Lindsay's
Lindsay
Ice. Lindsay's Ice, yeah, so
and the Girl Scouts, Tran, and St. No, that's
Who was
St. Vincent de
That's what
Paul,
my brain looks like.
and LeSueur. So we want to thank all of our vendors and our support for that. So another successful year. But then I want to welcome everybody back on campus because with the new year, that's new sports, or new school year for all the kiddos starting. So thank you for the teachers for coming early and preparing your rooms and getting everything ready because
And because we have the 100-year that we are doing, is there a little section like on our website or whatever that like maybe the different things that we're doing for that? I know there's the signs, I've ordered, I got like 12 of them.
and is there a place where people can go online and order signs?
Oh, it's on it's on the website. And it's
I'm just
really
getting
easy.
those
If I can
questions,
do
so
it,
I want
then
that
I know
to be-
everybody else can do it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very easy, and it's like, I think it's the first thing that pops up too, doesn't it?
In your
When you get
question, it's coming.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure that we have the correct dates so that we're
Every
very
little
clear.
thing, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
That would be,
Yes.
because that'd be nice, because I know is it homecoming that they're
Yes.
doing, supposed to be doing fireworks
Yes.
for it?
That is,
We've
that's
got
what
the
I
yard
hear.
signs.
I don't
I'm
know
trying
about
to think
logistics.
what else, yeah.
Air shirts.
Yes.
Those teachers.
Yes.
yeah, those are cool.
The signage and the carpets on the entrance look phenomenal. I mean, it really looks,
Yeah,
looks cool.
really nice.
It's great.
And then I also want to say, I know our goal is to meet quarterly for the TRCAN, so we can notify our community about the goings-on in our district. So we're going to get that started here once we get over the hiccups of the new school year. We'll get that underway so we can keep the community informed. But no, you can always listen and watch the archives of all of these meetings and stay informed on our website. So.
Absolutely. Great job.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, well, that will take us to the superintendent's report, Mr. Stock.
Before I bundle, I think we had questions about G and O.
I had a question about item G, with all of the new laws that have been passed by the state of Ohio. I know when we have conversations with our kids about certain topics, we have an obligation to talk to parents. And before we approve an item like this, I think we need to talk to our attorneys and just make sure that we've lined up the appropriate questions to see if there's any disclosures we need to make for anyone that signs up for this club. And I think it would just be smart for us to kind of ask some questions first before we do this,
Okay, so we want to table it.
if we could.
And we also need to make sure we're aligned with their requirements.
Right.
So if there is, requirements for that kind of group, we need to. And, we said, right?
Correct.
So I just had some questions about some of the coaches and some of the position workers being paid a stipend in addition to a flat rate. I think I just need some more clarification about what these rates are for and why it would be in addition to fee. And then I also just as far as being fiscally responsible, like are we able to offer these jobs to like students or NHS or NJHS students as volunteer hours before we put them out for pay hours? I just think in the honor of,
That's interesting.
It is a good conversation to have. We could explore whether there are other opportunities and have we really explored all those possibilities. It would be a good conversation, I think, to have too.
So we want to table that too as well. Is that going to affect anything like coming in? Because the event worker, I'm assuming they'll be talking about like for football games and all that kind of stuff, so.
Football, volleyball,
Okay.
soccer,
All right.
that's
So-
what we're selling tickets.
So if we table this, because if we table this, does this mean that these people can still do that, but they may not get paid for it? Or does this mean that they can't do it until we approve it? Then we have to have a volunteer do it.
It's a good
Correct.
question.
Okay.
I will say, my understanding, I thought when Zach presented to us last time, he had talked about, there was discussion of switching to a stipend for the year as opposed to percentage supplementals or hourly pay. So I didn't think this was in addition to anything. I think this is in lieu of how they were paid
That's
previously.
correct. And I
Right?
think the only percentage there is the middle school one, and I think they left that as is because that job encompasses two of the other stipends in the middle school. Is that right?
Well, was your question that some of these are
So-
coaches who are getting a coach's stipend and then they're also now
Correct.
ticket takers getting this
Correct.
additional amount of
Yeah, so my question would be, for example, like Alex Rittershausen is a coach, but does that mean he's an away game manager for what? Because he's a coach for basketball, does that mean it's for a different season, for a different sport? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I also,
Hands on.
yeah, I just need clarification, and I think that would need to be clarified. And then also for James Holland to be an event worker, he's security here, so I'm confused then. If he's being paid as an event worker, is he not being paid as security for that event? You know, I just need that clarification as well. And then what is the difference between class 1 and 2?
Yeah, it looks like it's just.
The commitment of games, I believe.
Okay.
all the number of games that they're committing to.
I feel like he had a range in that PowerPoint that he went over, like, this is what he was
Yes.
calling, like, these people used to make this much an hour, and now he kind of like combined them all. I don't have that in front of me though.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, we could, if there's a question, if your concerns are specifically with our coaches, we could try and, we could approve everyone else in the best, in an effort to not leave.
Okay. So in the
somebody short next week.
past, was this stuff, that were they all just volunteers, or did they even get paid in the past?
They were paid.
They were paid
hourly.
Hourly, gotcha.
And the thought, I think, here was that
You could save a little money
you
by
could save a little money,
Ah.
doing a flat amount, and
There we go.
everyone just knew what they were going to get. And, maybe one person ends up making a couple extra dollars because they didn't, but there's probably somebody who's going to work more hours. It was just, I think, and a lot of it, I was under the impression he had discussed this with most of the folks, and they agreed that this was a simpler, easier way to do it.
And so if your name's on there 3 times, it's 3 different seasons?
That would be,
I mean, that, do you know
My
what I'm saying?
understanding.
This says, yeah.
Yeah,
I know Aaron does a lot.
yeah. Well, and Sandy Martini, obviously, is probably fall, winter, spring.
that's for,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we probably ought to clarify that, but.
It was just confusing?
No, it's worth discussion.
I think, I know I always bring this up when we have these kinds of conversations, but I always like to also ask questions about how we publicize the availability of these positions. Is it really as open as it could be to anyone who wants to do it? And are we, like you had mentioned, are we exploring all options? Like we do have NHS people who need community service hours. Have we thought about, using students like that? So there are some other things that we could potentially talk about in that conversation as well.
Event worker, what is their classification? Does that mean that they are collecting money? So then are they
Ticket taking.
or ticket taking?
Selling tickets.
Yeah, but it could also be setting up, it could be moving chairs, not cleaning, but just, getting.
So do they have to go through like background checks? and that kind of
Yes.
stuff?
Oh, yes.
Because then if we're opening it up to
Background.
the public, I mean, that's a lot to go through.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Well,
such a
and these,
minimum.
and I want to say these people are basically volunteering. I mean, nobody's doing it for this money. They're here doing, good work for the school district. So like nothing that I think anybody's saying here is casting any dispersions on these people. I mean, these are great people. It's wonderful that they're doing this. So just want to make that clear.
But it is correct, if we have games prior, if we table to the next meeting, for example, and something happens in between, we would not be able to pay them
Until we
those
have the
points.
next meeting. Yeah, yeah.
So, is there a thought that we're okay with going ahead and approving this as is? Would you want to hold off and get a clarification on just specifically the coaches? I mean, we could table that, because I don't think that's necessarily going, on this fall season, so it could be, that could have an impact. I was just trying to think of making sure we don't do anything that hampers the next 2 weeks, right, until our next meeting.
Could we just vote on the fall items and leave the other items that aren't fall to a future discussion, and then that would prompt us to have that future discussion so that we make sure that we do have it?
Yeah, so what if we just approve pending?
We'd like to amend the agenda.
Okay,
We could do a unanimous consent agenda to approve the specific fall items on the list.
Right, whichever ones, because some of them say fall, but some don't, so we don't know exactly.
What was what, right?
But I'm guessing, like you said, where there's somebody 3 times, it's probably fall, winter,
Or
spring.
just approve one of them.
Right. And that'll allow us to, so it'll allow Zach to, have them approved the first season.
What
So,
about those that are listed ones?
We should probably approve those because if they're for the fall,
yeah, if
So
it
we're
was,
just holding on any repeat.
right,
I mean, I'm fine with it all now, because it brought back when there was that time, that type of thing, but I'm good with whatever.
It's up to you guys, and if you want to vote on it now, I can still get these answers from Zach.
So, is Cindy, is she still a soccer coach, or no?
No,
So is she working in the fall?
I don't know what season she's working. I think we could probably label those.
Yeah, it doesn't say the seasons on several.
yeah. Well, what if we were to say, let's just approve, the ones designated as fall, or anyone that's designated for one, more than one, we'll approve their first, and then we'll come back, clarify that in the next meeting. If that's, I don't know how to phrase that, if we need to how about we could change it to athletic supplemental contracts for fallen individuals for the fall season, or no, as listed for the fall season of the 25-26 school year. And obviously pending background check and proper certification.
So really, we're just pulling one of Amy Reeves,
any of the
one
duplicates.
of Sandy Martinez, or two
Right,
of Sandy
two.
Martinez and 2 Aaron Wilson.
That's correct. And some of these may not be a fall, we don't know that, but it's approved nonetheless.
Well,
So we're gonna amend the agenda to table item G and
Amend item O.
amend item O.
So we should probably start with voting on that. Well, actually, we should let him get through the whole agenda, and then we can modify it after he goes through it, or do we vote first?
I would go first, but I don't, because then we'll have to do different blocks. Or no?
Yeah, maybe it'd be better to modify it and then let him read it.
Okay.
Modify it. That makes sense.
You're testing my Robert's rules.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to make a unanimous consent agenda amendment for removing item G from the agenda and modifying item O to take out any duplicate names on the event worker list from the agenda item O.
I will second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Hughes?
Yes.
all right, so personnel, A, accept the resignation of Thomas Getz effective July 24th, 2025. Mr. Getz didn't even start with us. We approved him and didn't get to start, and now resigning. B, additional hours of compensation for Marnie Murphy Media Center support and transition for the 25-26 school year, not to exceed 80 hours at $30 per hour. This is to continue some of those media center duties that she's been in charge of. She holds a lot of that knowledge and is willing to help us. C, additional hours and compensation for Dawn Redden for professional development and training during the 25-26 school year, not to exceed 25 hours at her hourly rate of pay. She's at the preschool and they don't have school on Wednesdays, so this is training on those days. Recommend D, 1-year non-teaching contract for Chloe Beisel as a cook 3 effective September 2nd of 2025 through June 3rd, 26. And background checks, drug and alcohol license, the testing licensure, which involve required training 2.5 hours daily. Step 2. Letter E, recommend the approval of guaranteed bus driver hours for the 25-20 school year included in the board packet. F, recommend a non-athletic supplemental contract for Katie Ryan for National Honor Society, THS 5% for the 25-26 school year. Instructional, H, revised dates for additional hours and compensation for Nate Cole for safe crisis management training during July 30, 2025 and August 1 through 7, 2025 at $25 per hour, not to exceed 7 hours. Letter I, recommend the payment for in lieu of transportation for the 25-26 school year. The list of students is included in the board packet, and it did increase. Again, it's $607.15 for this school year.
It looked like though our number dropped off. There were a lot of names removed from the list that we approved just a couple meetings ago. So
Yeah.
I talked to Terry and she said that if families don't get that form in or what have you, then a lot of things
Yeah.
to deadline. So, okay.
J, recommend approval for TransFinder for the price of $37,054, quote included in the board packet. The good thing about TransFinder is it includes everything, it's all inclusive, GPS, everything. K, recommend approving the purchase of 1 van from American Bus and Accessories Inc. for the price of $7,977, quote included in the board packet. L, revised corporate resolution appointing superintendent, treasurer, and board of education president as officers of the Three Rivers Local School District to execute documents during the calendar year 2025. And M, revised handbooks for elementary, middle school, and high school for the 25-26 school year included in the board packet. This is to align with the new House Bill 96 electronic device use policies. Athletics, in revise a 1-year athletic supplemental contract for the following individual for 25-26. Mr. Dransman, and that's 14 to 18%. We'll have one less assistant coach than originally planned. And O, as amended, recommend athletic supplemental contracts for the following individuals as listed for the 25-26 school year. Of course, taking out the duplicates, we amended, pending background checks and proper certification. That's all.
Any questions? I'll bring one comment up, and I should have said this more during our committee report, but Mark was at our committee meeting as well, and we presented, discussed some capital items, capital budget items, and the van was one of those discussion topics. I will point out that given some of the bigger expenditures, we have about 200.
I have it on my report, but
Do you?
yes.
Okay, I'll let Terry say, but I'll just say we're precipitously close to already having spent most of our capital budget for this school year. So just be aware of that, so that could be something we'll be discussing later. And again, when we lowered that from 750 to 550, it's because for the last few years, rarely have we broke over 500,000, but this is a year, again, with maybe some unexpected items. But one of the things Mark will be working on is a really good capital plan forecast. What are things that we've been saying we're going to need for years and years that we have never done, and what are things that just kind of pop up out of the weeds. I think it would be good to have somebody who can focus and put some time on that, that has the background and the skill set to do that, because Terry's got a lot on her plate already, and her staff does, and they're winning awards, so we don't want to mess that up. We don't mess that up. But having a capital plan, just because, as you guys know, you've heard it, Terry said it multiple times, the building, our facilities are getting to that age where things are breaking, and we've got some expensive equipment out there that we just need to be aware of. So I didn't mean to sidetrack vote on that, but I did want to, it just reminded me when the bus or the van, popped up, we did have some discussion of that in the finance committee. Can I get a motion to approve the superintendent's report as presented?
I'll make a motion that we approve the superintendent's report as amended.
I'll second.
That's all right.
Treasurer's choice.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
All right. Brings us to the treasurer's report. Mrs. Reese. It means still with thunder.
That's okay. Again, for the 2 items tonight, for the monthly financials, again, with 1 month, as Garen said, there's not a lot to report out on. But, so far, we're seeing $790,000 increase compared to last year on our real estate. We won't know until we get the final collection next month whether or not that truly is an increase or if more people paid early and that's why we're getting the advances. So, but we should know more. Always optimistic. Other than that, revenue, we don't really know state funding since it's so early. We are up so far about $6,000, but as Garen, mentioned earlier, we're not losing any money in that area, so I'll take that as a win. On the expense side, salaries and benefits, 5.3% to 7.9%, right on track with where we expected to be. On the supplies, so we are, it's a little bit of a scary number. We're up $188,000 compared to the same period last year, but I wanted to make everyone realize that $170,000 of that are student Chromebooks and staff devices. So all of the high school staff, correct me if I'm wrong, Megan, received all new. It was their turn to get new computers, and then the student Chromebooks as well. So $170,000 of that 340 was devices. Other than that, there was a lot of software purchases and electronic materials that are needed for the beginning of school, as well as some of the back-to-school items that are not covered under fees, but district general fund related. Capital, thank you for teeing that one up, Mr. Evans. So for the year, and again, we're 1 month in, we're already checks out the door, $204,831. And Mr. Smiley is wonderful. He's been a little bit nervous and sweating a little bit. I told him it's okay. That we're going to take care of what we need to take care of. But I wanted to break that down to you. So for those capital purchases, athletics, $53,725, and that was the gym floor and the 50% deposit on the wrestling mats. We do still owe another $23,725 on wrestling mats that we have an outstanding purchase order for. Maintenance, $12,554. Mrs. Hughes, as she was saying, brought up the band, much needed, as I've been told, repairs in the band room where they tore everything up, did a permanent concrete flooring and sealed it. So they're much more sanitary and happy with that. Technology, $114,739. And that was the balance of the servers. So for June, knowing that I had 550 was our max that we agreed upon, Megan had forwarded, before we placed the order, we agreed that we were going to pay what we could and then put some of it into the new year. So we paid to the $550,000 mark, and then we paid the difference when the new year opened on the first check run. Also part of that were the wireless access points. So again, we're in a wireless technology world, so again, these are all needed improvements for the building. And last but not least, transportation purchased a generator that was approved last year, and this is for communication primarily, so that if the electric goes out, they can still get on the radios and be able to communicate out with parents. So again, a little bit of a splurge at $23,000, but a much needed, rather have it than not. We do have $210,000 after tonight. We do have the $140,000 bus that was approved earlier this year, and the $70,000 van that was approved tonight. So we do definitely have $210,000 more coming just in transportation, and then anything else that comes along. We do have and I don't know, Mark, if you want to talk about this, but we have a couple of leaks that, I'm going to contact the insurance once we know more information. However, we have no idea.
The leak on the soccer field seems to be, it's not going to be as big. So it's really just dug out about this big around right now. So they won't have to go any further than that. The other one I'm not sure on yet.
That's the retention line.
Yes.
So our initial estimate, just to excavate down to the pipes from the plumber, was $10,000. So we just don't know what that's
They
going to
could
be.
get that down to the pipe and see what's wrong with it. And then they could get down to a certain point, but they couldn't get past that. So once they repair what they've gotten to, they'll be able to assess the rest.
So, again, just a heads up, out of the 345 that we have left, 210 is already spoken for. And so we might be coming back and revisiting and asking for an increase in the capital allowance. And last but not least, on the transfers out, that is an increase, but it's solely related to the transfer of funds out to the 070 fund. Because we've done $110,000 every year that was approved last month. So that's the slight increase there.
One thing, Terry, and maybe with Megan here, you might be able to help. Have we seen, what's our federal income look like? I know with all the hubbub there, and then just
It's a great question.
It's a great question, and I printed it out. I thought
Megan
you'd
has
like
been
it.
working tirelessly.
And I didn't, this was not a
Thank you.
For the last couple of months, and so ODE has a new system. It's gonna be great, it's gonna be better, and it's gonna be more streamlined. So we did, I mean, and it's pages, I can't tell you how many hours Megan and I spent going in and improving.
Well, and even the
And-
training, we went to multiple
Yes.
trainings on it, starting like last fall. They rolled it out, they made us do all the applications in there, we submitted them, and then they never pulled in the whole funding at the federal level, and so then they froze some of the stuff. Then they zeroed everything out, even though my applications were filled up, and then now they've transferred back to the old system. So,
So is this a system that the state of Ohio set up or the federal government?
State
set
of
up?
Ohio.
It's a CCIP.
The CCIP, now it's called Ed Steps, and the Ed Steps has our one needs assessment, our one plan, and it makes sense holistically, and they've been building it for years, so you'd think they'd have it right, but there's hiccups, I get it, so we are flexible. So I did just finish the CCIP before we came over, I'm being sarcastic. No, so our funding overall, last year, our federal funding was at 951,000. This year, we're at 842,000 and some change. Now, that 951 number does include our 37,000 carryover, so that's not quite accurate. So take that out of there.
So we're down like 60-ish?
Yeah, $60,000 to $70,000 we're down. And the big chunk of that came with Title I, which kind of reading all that Title I is where they've seen kind of drops across the board. So last year, not including our carryover, we had $336,925, and this year we have $286,516. Now our enrollment's gone down a little bit, but our free and reduced numbers and that have not changed. They've gone up. So that's kind of changed. Now we will have some carryover, so that will go up a little bit. And the way our program works is we have an instructional coordinator, which is Kirsty Saunders, and then we have title tutors who support the work in their K-6. And, we employ them through DSS and we employ them through Three Rivers, and kind of depending on who it is and the change in salary. So we actually lost a couple. And so we were able to add an additional one because of the way the salaries worked out. So our support is still pretty strong, and I'm hoping we can keep that. I used to purchase, you're allowed to purchase like any curriculum that works with instruction and literacy through here. I moved all those to the general fund to support more teachers and tutors for our kids. In the future, we may have to change that, but title and tutors, it is a fluid process. You don't have a long job, it kind of comes and goes. So I think overall, looking at our Title II, last year we were 51, this year we're 49, not a huge difference there. Title III, which we don't have a big ELL population, it was 597, it actually says 690 this year. I don't really agree, I don't think that's gonna be accurate. Title IV, 27,000, 26,000, not a big thing. And then IDEA, which is our special ed fund, last year 476,000, this year 467, so a little decrease. Early childhood 13,900, 13,300. So your dip was in Title I.
Yeah, and it sounds like a lot of that is probably just related to the size of the schools. We've gone down a little bit and all those numbers went down correspondingly.
Yeah, so that was it too. Yeah. So overall, I'm hoping once that gets approved and it gets up, then our funds will drop. Because right now we don't have any money in those buckets. So invoices keep coming, and I keep pushing them back, like, don't have money yet, bill me later.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions, is like, have we seen a payment, or so we're still waiting?
We're still collecting from last year.
Okay.
So our first pay for this school year doesn't start until 9/15, so we're still expending those funds.
Okay.
Yeah. We just typically can encumber them at this point in time, and that's what I'm not able to do.
I see.
So, yeah.
Any other questions, or Terry, did you have?
I have one more item, and this is an annual compliance document, but it is recommended approval of the fiscal year 25 annual filing report for commercial paper and banker acceptance as required per Ohio Revised Code 135.142, included in the board packet. And again, this is the disclosure of where all of those funds are invested and the return on those. So.
good. Wish my retirement. But thank you. Any other questions? All right, hearing none, then I will move that we accept the treasurer's report, items A and B as presented. I'll second.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes. All right, that takes us to the board vice president report, Mr. McDonald.
I would like to make a motion that I would recommend acceptance of the following donations to the Three Rivers Local School District. $4,500 from Iconic Homes LLC to the Career Academy for Tiny Homes. $4,000 from Forward Edge to the 070 account. And $18,600 from the Three Rivers SGO to the Three Rivers Local School District for all-day kindergarten tuition.
Mrs. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Thank you to all those generous members. We don't have any agenda, any new business or old business. Was there any announcements or anything that didn't fit in other parts of our?
I just wanted to comment about our, we just had teachers welcome them back yesterday, all staff today. I think it was 2 really great days of professional development. I sent out evaluations, so we'll take that and we'll talk about an academic committee. Tim had an awesome introduction today. I think was very warmly welcomed by the staff, did an awesome job. Tom Burton was our keynote, really got everyone up and dancing, and Lisa put a little thing on the website. Yeah, so it was really, really good. So we did an array of things with Amplify and quizzes and all kinds of things across the board, but I wanted to draw attention. We did safety training. Our Alice is our protocol, and we did that. And Steve Macon and I have been working with trainers. Alice had been acquired by who bought Alice?
Navigate.
Thank you. I was going to say Transfinder, that's wrong. Navigate. And we just couldn't work it out. They were going to charge us all this money, and we had to fly them in and this. And I reached out to a contact I have at Springfield Township, and he came out, and they were fabulous. So a huge thank you to Springfield Township. They did not charge us at all.
Awesome.
They came and did out of kindness of their heart. And it was great because Rami, Detective Rami Ko came out and worked with Steve Macon a couple weeks ago just to walk the campus to see and just to talk to Steve to kind of get a feel of what we are. And he would not say this if he didn't mean it, but he said we have the best security and system set on this campus that he's ever seen. And he's like, it can tell you have Steve Macon, who is so well versed and experienced, our security team, and the investment that the district and our grants and everything we've done are second to none. I mean, it just like and it just was like, you're right. Like we kind of take a lot of that for granted. Even he was walking around, and kudos to Mark and Mike, and he's like, this is beautiful. Your campus it's so clean, and it's, I think things that we kind of sometimes get down on. When you have an outside perspective come in, it was just like, you know what? Like, yeah, you're right. So it made me feel like super proud and like lucky. And he said that to all the staff members, and I think they were like, you're right. We are and just the things we've invested in, the lighting on the windows and all that stuff. Districts aren't doing that, so like we are, and we're here to keep them safe. So that was really good.
Thank you for that, and it is important. Several of us have kids here in the building, so yes, we definitely appreciate that. I think, if there's any other announcements, if not, I think we're good. I don't believe we have a need for executive session, so I don't think that's going to break anybody's heart. So I'll put no there. I guess hearing no other comments or needs, I'll adjourn the meeting.